After more than 24 hours, a press conference, and a lot of thought, I've decided to make the second Eagles video following the Rams beat down on the Eagles. 37-19 was the final score in yesterday's game. Now, I really wanted to get this video out to talk about the press conference, to talk about Carson Wentz, and, maybe hint at talking about Jalen Hurts. Now, I made the game recap video yesterday, and, they lost. I mean, I was mad. Obviously, why wouldn't I be mad? The Eagles are my team. I want them to win. And when they lose, it gets me angry. It's just like every other Philadelphia team. Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, Sixers. The Union, I don't really know if I get mad, but I definitely want them to win. But that's not really the point of this. The point is, do the Eagles trust Carson Wentz? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, listening to Doug Pederson's press conference today, it was just an absolute joke. I mean, the dude just... I don't even know what to say. I mean, Doug Pederson is a good coach. Don't get me wrong. But he just seems so uninterested in everything to do with Carson Wentz. And it always ends up getting blamed on Carson Wentz. Now, has Carson done what we know Carson can do? No, he has not. He has been pretty awful all year, for the first two games. He's been pretty terrible. Not going to lie. But, a couple of the guys, Anthony Gargano and Mike Missanelli, they made some good points. Basically saying, you see John Harbaugh, you see Andy Reid, you even see Bill O'Brien go over and talk to their quarterback. Have you ever seen Doug Pederson go over to Carson Wentz and sit down with him? I haven't, personally. I mean, maybe they have, maybe the cameras just aren't on them, but I just don't see the connection between those two. And, Alshon Jeffrey has stated in the past that he's not a good teammate. People don't like playing for him. They rather play for Foles. And, obviously you had the Nick Foles, questions being brought up, and Nick Foles this, Nick Foles that, Jalen Hurts. I mean, that's what's going to happen when you have, a quarterback in this city that hasn't lived up to the potential of being a number 2 overall pick. And, Nick Foles winning a Super Bowl easily could have been the worst thing that happened to Carson Wentz. Am I glad the Eagles won? Yes, of course I am. But in the grand scheme of things, I just don't know what is wrong with Wentz. Because I know he is a solid quarterback. I know he's a good quarterback. I do. And he has a great skill set. But this season, there's something seriously wrong. It's in his head. He's not confident at all. He is making bad reads. He's throwing more picks. I think he threw like 7 or 9 picks all of last season. He has 4 in the first 2 games. And we haven't even seen the Ravens, the Steelers with the best defense in the league, the Packers who are killing teams, the Saints, the Seahawks. I mean, we're not even seeing the toughest of the schedule yet. And, I said yesterday that I had the Eagles going 3-0 to start the season. I had them beating the football team, the Rams, and the Bengals this upcoming week. I had them going 3-0. Do I think they should be 3-0? I think they should be, but they're not. They're 0-2. We're going into week 3 playing a Bengals team that is very young, but they are still good. Do I think it's going to be a landslide victory like, last year against the Jets? No. I think it's going to be a pretty tough game, honestly. They just took the Browns, and yes, I know it's Cleveland, but they just took the Browns down to almost the wire, and they scored a lot of points, something we have not done. We haven't even gotten out of the teens in points. Now, who's that to blame? I don't know. I really don't know. Is it Pederson? Is it Wentz? Is it Howie? Who is it? Because there's somebody to blame, and it's always just falling back on Carson. That is my issue. Because We know what Carson Wentz is good at. Rolling out of the pocket, making plays. What has Carson not done this year? Rolling out and making plays. Now, was that Frank Reich's doing, when he was offensive coordinator, or what is going on here? Because right now, this is the worst I've ever seen Carson. Ever. In his career. In his 5-year career, this is the worst. And he literally played through a back injury. Broken back. Literally. This is the worst I've ever seen him. And I've been having this conversation a lot today. But you can honestly blame all three of them in different ways. Now, Carson is not playing up to Carson Wentz standard. We know that. That's out of the way. But what is Pederson doing? As I said before, he's not he always blames Carson. He never goes up to Carson. He never does this. He never does this. He never draws up plays. There's nothing in those plays. Nothing. It's screen left, screen right, run, screen, no deep balls. And I understand that we are very poor and lacking receivers. I understand that. I see this team play every Sunday. I know who we've signed. But whose fault is that? Howie's. It's Howie Roseman's fault. I mean, honestly, it is. Instead of drafting DK Metcalf and Terry McLaurin, he drafts J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who has 10 total catches in 2 seasons now, and DK Metcalf has 10 touchdowns. I mean, what's that to say? What is, when I see that is poor management. It is. He drafts Jalen Hurts, 2nd round, instead of trading up for CeeDee Lamb or trading for DeAndre Hopkins or Odell Beckham. You can't do that as a GM. I truly think they want Carson to leave. Carson Wentz, it would not shock me at all if he's not the quarterback of this team in 2 years. It wouldn't. They're leaving him out to dry. They give him no help. He's not running the right plays. He's in a system where it's Foles' offense. This is exactly what Foles did. A pocket passer. That is not Carson. It's not. And I understand. He's put on weight. He's a dad now. I understand. But, I mean, when McNabb did it, he was bad. Is it going to be the same thing with Carson? Because if it is, then maybe it is time to move on from Carson Wentz. He's 5 years in. He had one great season. He gets injured. He makes poor decisions. Maybe he is not built for Philadelphia. Or maybe it is the other two. I don't know. But all I know is the Eagles are in a very bad spot, especially with the Cowboys winning yesterday. The football team being 1-1. We're tied for last place. We're tied for, I guess, second in the division, I guess you could say, or last place in the division with the Giants. You play the Bengals next week. They're a solid team. I know their record doesn't say it, but they're a hungry young team. Don't be surprised if they give us a fight. If they win this game, don't be surprised. I'm not. They're a good young team. A.J. Green. I mean, look at the linebackers that we have. Who's covering John Ross? Who's covering Tyler Boyd in the front seven? Beyond or above the secondary, above the safety help. Who's covering him? Who's covering them? How are we going to stop Joe Mixon? How? Giovanni Bernard. Joe Burrow. How are we going to stop him? I don't know. I truly don't. And it truly does bother me. This team really, they're poor. They're a very poor team. They're a bad team right now. And if you win one out of these next, if you are 1-5 at the end of 6 games, they're getting a top 15 pick. They are. I'm sure they'll draft somebody stupid, somebody that can't play football, but that's what's going to happen. If we lose this upcoming week, Jalen Hurts could start soon. The Jalen Hurts era in Philadelphia could very well be underway. It could be. I'm being 100% honest. Do I want that to happen? No. I want Carson to be the quarterback. I still believe in Carson Wentz. I don't want Jalen Hurts. I never did. I still don't. But I don't call the shots. They do. Doug and Howie. And, I mean, when they drafted Jalen, you had high fives and hugs from both of them. You just paid your quarterback hundreds of millions of dollars. Then you go around and draft a quarterback second round instead of getting him a top-tier wide receiver or a great young wide receiver. Makes no sense. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. Again, thank you all for watching. Hope you liked the video. And I am out. Peace.